Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Wes Fryer. Today is Monday, May 11th, 2026, and we've got 2 weeks of school left. And I want to talk about Hoopla, Libby, and e-readers. I have been successfully reading a lot more before bed. Things go in cycles, and I can be one of these people sometimes that works too late and gets into a bad sleep cycle to the point where, like, on a weekend, a Saturday morning or whatever, like, I can't sleep in. I get up so early. Normally for school, I get up at 5:30. Shelly gets up at 5, so sometimes I get up at 5. And anyway, reading before bed is an acknowledged strategy that we know can help. It can help calm the mind, and there's so many different things going on, and reading is just good. Reading is a good thing to do. It is a wonderful, what is it, like the bicycle of the mind? That's what Steve Jobs thought was a computer. My late friend Bob Sprinkle of Wells, Maine, actually I think, well, then did they move to Portsmouth? They moved to Portsmouth. Anyway, my Maine friend, M-A-I-N-E, Bob Sprinkle, influenced me in so many ways, and one of the ways that he influenced me was to think about having a single-use digital device instead of a multi-use device. So this phone that I'm using to record right now and share this on Facebook Live, and I'll download the video and put it on YouTube and other places, it's protean. It can do all these things, which is cool. But it's also distracting and tempting to do other things than, like, just read. Can this phone be an e-reader? Yes, absolutely. Are there some limitations to it? Sure. The battery doesn't last. Mine does. I need to get a new battery for my phone, actually. It has trouble sometimes making it through the day. And the screen isn't as large, and I'm old enough now. I've got to make the text big. And so I'm going to put a link in the description for this video on Facebook, and I'll try to do the same thing on YouTube or wherever else I share, to a great podcast that I listened to most of yesterday and this morning. It's called Mac Power Users, and this is an episode where they talk about e-readers with a really smart guy named Jason Snell. Jason is a big tech journalist. I think Six Colors is the name of his main blog where he writes and publishes. But they're basically taking stock of e-readers, and I was in Kansas with my dad over spring break, and I wanted to get a book, but he is really into checking out books via the library and other kinds of apps. And my library card had broken on my little key ring, and anyway, I couldn't get access. And so when I got back this spring, I went to the Union County Library, because we're in Union County. I had to get a new library card. Anyway, I've got it. And now I can log in for free to the Libby app and the Hoopla app. And both of these have books for checkout, both as ebooks, but then also as audiobooks that I can listen to. And so one of the books that I just learned about, this is heavy reading, so I tend to read a bunch of books at once. And when I say read, I use that term broadly because I'm really saying ingest or consume, because I really like to listen to books as well as read them. And so anyway, I've checked out this book, which is by a professor from Northwestern, that is about the white supremacy movement and the white power movement in the United States. And anyway, I didn't have to pay anything. I downloaded it via Hoopla, and it's going to be due June 1st. So another benefit of this is it can create some immediacy to say, hey, I've got to go ahead and get this. I've got to listen to this book. I've got to read this book, because I'm going to return this book digitally. So I encourage you to, number one, click the link to this Mac Power Users podcast discussion with Jason Snell about e-readers, because I know about Nook and Kobo. Kobo is actually the e-reader the hardware. It's the main one that Jason's the most excited about. There's another one from China that's paper thin. He uses what I've called Calibre. I think he calls it Calibre. It's a open source free software program that lets you both convert ebooks and e-texts into different formats, but also synchronize them across your devices. Was really glad to hear that it is still being updated constantly. The interface, Jason comments, is like a 2004-ish, almost Windows 95, ported from Linux to Mac software. And in the course of writing and publishing my own books back in, 2011 and then 2013 mainly, I learned a lot about ebook formats and publishing formats and things like that. So if you don't already have a library card, get a library card and check out the apps Hoopla and Libby, because libraries have many of them. Certainly Charlotte-Mecklenburg, if you're in that bigger library system here in Charlotte or in Union County. My perception is that most large libraries, and probably all libraries, are into subscriptions now because we're into these digital devices. And so I haven't yet checked out a ebook and then being able to read that on my Kindle. This audio version of this book that I checked out this morning I'm going to listen to it, I think, in the Hoopla app. I'm really interested in all of this because, number one, reading is a big deal, and sharing reading and what we're reading, all of those things have been important and continue to be important. I think there's really a crisis right now among young people, but maybe it's among our society overall, because we've moved from being a culture of the written word to now a culture of the moving word, because video is so ascendant in terms of how people consume news and information and spend their time. And so I think it's valuable to think about how we share and consume video and content. But I like this idea of being able to shape my own feed and being able to take more control over the radar screen of information and ideas that I let into my brain. And I think it's really important. So if you want to check out a couple projects that I'm working on, news.wesfryer.com. I've got some scripts that I have vibe coded with AI that basically take newsletter links, put them into a Mastodon channel, and then there's a website that they feed into, and it updates every 30 minutes. These are the newsletters that I subscribe to, and I use that throughout the week to be able to check out some newsletters, because I don't really like to read in my email program as far as long form media. You can also check out podcasts.wesfryer.com. Hopefully maybe this week, I don't know. I've got to make some pretty important changes to this project, but this is a podcast aggregation and sharing community effort where I've taken about 400 podcasts that I subscribe to, which I don't listen to all these, of course, all the time. Some of them are like a dead too. They're not being updated. But anyway, it's all these podcasts that I like and I subscribe to. And again, I can see them. It's an algorithm that I have created and crafted. And so I can see a chronological feed of these without an algorithm like Facebook or some other social media platform shaping that for me to tell me what it thinks I want, which can be good. Okay, I love the YouTube algorithm in many cases. Advertising is in there, and there's a whole lot of issues with all this. So both of those, news.wesfryer.com and podcasts.wesfryer.com. Podcast.wesfryer.com is active. It's just there's some important updates I've got to do, and when I get those done, I'll do another video about this, and I'm going to do an announcement thing, and I'll share some video about it. But yay for the Mac Power Users podcast, Jason Snell, sharing about e-readers. It really is a thought-provoking conversation, and I think you'll enjoy it if you are a reader. And I think that these tools are worth playing with and exploring, especially when it's free through the public library, right? Check these things out and let me know in the comments if you have questions. Hope you have a great week, and take care. Be safe out there.